Hi guys, how's it going? How you doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I am doing my makeup rehab, in which I go through all the makeup items I have emptied and all the makeup items I have purchased. I filter it all into a bank and we talk about what my bank looks like at the end of the day. I have so much I am bringing into my collection this month. Yep. This is where all of my makeup products get showcased as far as bringing into my collection and emptying out of my collection. I also have a beauty empties around every 2 or 3 months, going over all the things that are not makeup that filter out of my collection. But in this video, I also bring in like any gratis or anything like that that I've received, whether it is makeup or not. So you're just going to see everything that I bring in to my collection as far as beauty goes on this video, but you're only going to see makeup empties here in the makeup rehab series. So this is a video that I took inspiration from Steph from It's Just Steph here on YouTube. She's done it for years. I've watched her do it. It's such a smart way to keep yourself in check, really align yourself with the spending habits that you want to have, and make sure that you're just not overspending, right? It's a quasi low buy game that you're playing with yourself. I hope that sounds like something that you're interested in. And for those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna. I'm a lover of all things high-end, colorful beauty and self-care. I also work as a field leader for Ulta Beauty. I get a lot of education and gratis in my position. I'd like to bring you that education here, but ultimately I'm just out here talking about makeup because I like to talk about makeup, and I hope that you also like to talk about makeup, because if not, you're in the wrong place. And if you do, let's just do that. Let's just talk about some makeup, shall we? So I do have some rules for myself in my makeup rehab series. For me, the rules are very simple. I started with 10 points in my beauty bank. I allow myself 5 extra free points in September because that's my birthday. Every item I enter into my collection counts as 1 point. Every item I exit out of my collection equals 1 point. In terms of empties, if it's a declutter, that does not count for me. Gratis and gifts do not count for me. Beauty spends with gift cards and points do not count for me, which thank God, because some of this is beauty points. Gift sets, boxes, bundles that I purchase, those count per item versus as one, which is what they have counted for in the past. Blushes, highlights, lip glosses, I'm only allowed to purchase 5 of for the year, and after I have purchased 5, if I continue to purchase, I will then have to release one of those things from my inventory. So if I purchase 6 blushes, I have to get rid of one of my current blushes. And same goes for highlighters, same goes for lip glosses. Mascaras, face palettes, and lipsticks are considered no-buy items for me. However, if I do purchase one of those things, I do believe I have a points caveat to that. Like, it'll cost me more than the 1 point, but I will have to go back to my first video to check, because I did not put that into this little pretty list of rules, and I don't have it in my spreadsheet anywhere either, so I'm not sure. I am hoping to not bring more than 20 products in terms of purchases into my collection this year. I do know that my collection will increase by more than 20 items because I get gratis all the time. I do know that that will happen, but I don't want, between the purchases that I make and the empties that I have, I want the difference to be 20 or less. So let's start with empties. I have a whole sad lot of empties. I have 3 whole empties, even though I'm looking at 3 whole more empties, but it is not quite halfway through the month, and those empties are in my project pan. So spoiler for you, and I'm hoping that I will have more than just the 3 that are currently sitting there empty by the time we roll into project pan. So next month I will have, you know, at least this many empties also, and hopefully no spins. Let's start with this. This is the Yensa Essential Glow Primer. And this is such a beautiful primer, and I think I've said this before. I had a conversation about it with a channel friend down in the comments section the last time I talked about this primer, but this is a wonderful primer. I actually quite love this primer, but I absolutely cannot stand the way it smells. It literally smells like pencil shavings, and I will never, ever forget it because of the smell of it. But it's such a pretty primer. I love the way it makes my face look. It has 8 super block essences in it, so it's really good for your skin as well. Yensa has a really good product line. Really sad to see this go. This has been in my collection for quite some time. No, it did not smell like pencil shavings because it's been in my collection for too long. It smelled that way when I first got it. Really great primer. Loved that primer. Sad to see it go. And the next one I have is this, and this is the Clinique Pretty Easy liquid eyeliner. And I did end up putting this in here after testing it out in my brows and liners collection video, only to see that it was dry. It was run out. So it still worked, but just not a lot. So we'll be putting this into the empty bin as well. While it is in the empty bin, it will be going into the empty bin for a year of empties as well. And then the last thing I have is this, which is my NYX glitter primer. And I think that you guys can see that it does not have a cap on it, and that is the problem. So I used as much as I could of it. It is not squeezing anything else out, so I am calling it empty, but I am very sad because I think that there's far more product in here. I know that there's far more product in here that had the cap stayed tightly on the product, it would have lasted me for years. These glitter primers last for literal years. Really sad that the components of the NYX glitter primers have gone downhill. This is not the first NYX glitter primer that I've had that's done this. This just happens to be the first one that I've had that's done this that I couldn't make work for the remainder of its lifetime and get it completely gone. So this one is completely gone in terms of how I am able to utilize it for empties purposes, so it will count as an empty for me, and that is it. That is all the empties I have. So I am putting those points into my points in category for this month. So I had 13 points coming into March's makeup rehab, and now with those 3 points in, I have 16 points. That is a good thing. I am bringing in some product this month, and I did make some purchases. I also got some gratis. So let's look at all the gratis. Okay, so first and foremost, we have a training that we're doing this week, and it is with Hourglass. So I did get some Hourglass products. I got their Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions Mascara. So I'm super excited about that. I also got Hourglass Phantom, which are voluminous glossy balms. And I got 2 shades of that. Those were gratis. I also got 5 products from Benefit. A Benefit Precisely My Brow in Cool Gray. You can tell gratis because it's all got these marks through the UPC. Precisely My Brow in Cool Gray. A new FanFest mascara full size, which is fantastic because that is my favorite. Their Precisely My Brow Wax in Cool Gray. This is a new product. Their Whiplash, which is a lash enhancing serum. So like their lash growth serum. It's not a growth serum. And then I also got their Precisely My Brow Detailer, and this one is in the shade 5, which is warm black brown. This doesn't come in the cool gray, so one of my Rams sent me those products, so really thankful for her. I also got a bag of skincare from Province, the Banana Bliss Daily Facial Serum, a Glow Up Luminescent Facial Serum, a Clearly Pink Clarifying Daily Cleanser, an Alphabet Elixir Superpower Facial Gel, and then also a moisturizer, Daydream Cream. This came from Province. This actually came from one of my partners, Callie, who went to one of our round robins, and they gave her a goodie bag, and she actually had 2 of these bags, so she gave me one of them. She also gave me a couple of the other items that are in here. We recently brought Charlotte Tilbury into our stores, so this is a belt bag that says Charlotte Tilbury Loves Ulta on it. And it is clear and light pink, and I wanted one so bad. And I went into one of the stores, and the GM in there was like, we've already given them to everybody here. You can have one if you want. Those are all extra. And I was like, yes, please. She also gave me a bag of gratis. So I got a liquid glass 3-piece set from Drybar. I got a very giant Lancome Genifique. This is their 1.8 ounce bottle, which is very generous. Dolce & Gabbana Devotion Sampler Purity Facial Cleanser, travel size. I got a full size ABH Lip Velvet Lip Mousses, so really excited about that. And this is in the shade Kiss. Looks like a beautiful, like, mid-tone mauve shade. A Clinique Moisture Surge 100 Hour travel size. A Stila Blush and Bronze Hydro Blur Cheek Duo. This one is in grapefruit and caramel. It's kind of like the Wet n Wild sticks, right? With a blush on one side and a bronzer on the other. Very strange. Okay, Stila, whatever you want us to do. I also got Urban Decay Slick Day Brow, so that is their brow gel. I also got a cool Sol de Janeiro makeup bag and a Estee Lauder Nutritious Melting Soft Cream Mask and a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. This one is in the shade Pillow Talk. I also went to a meeting where we had one of our vendors there who gave us a bag of goodies. So this is a Philosophy makeup bag, and it is stuffed with some goodies in here. We have the Philosophy Micro Delivery Exfoliating Daily Facial Wash. I have a Kylie lip blush in the shade I'm Blushing. Lashy Dole mascara by Lancome. I have a Amazing Grace perfume spritzer by Philosophy. Hope Smooth Glow Multitasking Moisturizer, also by Philosophy. We have the Fresh Cream, the multi-face shampoo body cleanser, blah, blah, blah. And the Purity by Philosophy. We have a couple of little sample cards. We have the Idole Now by Lancome fragrance, and then a little Genifique sampler, and then a little Renergie sampler. We also got a little Lancome Genifique Night Light Cream. Oh, this was from my peer. One of the products. This was another duplicate that she got, so she gave this one to me. This is the Bobbi Brown Longwear Eyeliner Gel in the shade Sepia, so it is a brown shade of gel eyeliner, which I love. And then we also got fragrance, so the Marc Jacobs Daisy Wild. I love this. Look at just how absolutely darling this is with the daisies, and the little spritzer pieces look like stems of the daisy. It's so cute. Those are all the things I got in gratis last month, which is a lot. It's a lot. And next month we go to FLC, so I'm going to have a ton from next month as well. But let's talk about what I purchased, because I purchased a lot too. But I did purchase a lot of this on points, And my points purchases don't count for me. And that's good because I have several items here that technically I should not have purchased. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to do the things that aren't going to filter in because I purchased them with points. So I did buy 2 primers. If you saw, I emptied a primer. I also have 2 more primers that are almost empty in my collection. Primer is something I really do enjoy and something I wear every single day. So I did purchase the Tula Filter Primer, which is a blurring primer. It's one of my favorite primers. I really do love this primer. So happy to have it back in my collection. This one is, it says First Light for all skin tones. They do have a couple of them. Some of them suit other skin tones better than others. And then I also bought the Natasha Denona Hygiene Energizing and Hydrating Primer Serum. I think that this is a good like skincare item plus primer. So really happy to also have purchased that. And then I also have a new NYX glitter glue that I purchased. I feel like this is not my fault and shouldn't have counted against me in the first place. And then I purchased 4 Charlotte Tilbury items. It was like, okay, she's available to us now, so why not purchase them? 2 of them were blushes and 2 of them were lip products. So I did purchase the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Medium, which I feel like is probably going to be a better shade for me, if I'm humbly honest. And I also purchased her lip pencil in the same shade because I really do love her lip pencils. And then the 2 blush products that I purchased, I do have a couple of her blush ones, but they are the glowy ones. I'm not necessarily 100% sure I love the glowy ones. So I did buy one of the matte versions of her Beauty Wand blushers. And this one is in Pillow Talk Dream Pop, which seems to be a little bit of a red tone. So really kind of excited for that. And then I ended up buying one of her Cheek to Chic blushes, the ones that have the blush ring around them and in the middle is kind of like a highlighter, like circle, so like multi-tone blushes. I have wanted one of these for literal years. So the fact that I waited this long to pick one up is just like, how did I wait so long to pick this guy up? This is so pretty. This one is in, I think, Pillow Talk Medium. Intense. It's an intense. I don't love Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows, but I do love the rest of Charlotte Tilbury's products. I haven't tried her skincare, but I do love the rest of Charlotte Tilbury's products. And I did get those with points, so those don't count for me. The rest of these things do, and there is so much. There's so much. There's so much of these things. There's so much of these things. So I'm going to start with these because these are already open and I've already got them in use. I had to purchase a travel size FanFest mascara. I went out of town last week for business, not last week, but the week before, and forgot so much. I forgot so much, and mascara was one of those things. So, I mean, a travel size FanFest, it costs the same amount as a drugstore mascara does, and I know I love FanFest, so I just went and bought a travel size FanFest. I also forgot my brow product, gel, pencil, whatever, so I just bought a Gimme Brow in Cool Gray. Really mad at myself for buying this size and not the travel size, but they didn't have a travel size in this. What I should have done instead was buy a travel size 24-hour brow setter, because that would have been clear. It would have been fine. Now I have 2 of these open in my collection, so it makes me just a slight bit angry at myself, but this is a full-size Gimme Brow. I also bought a travel size professional pore spray, so the setting spray, because I didn't bring any setting spray with me or glitter glue or anything, so I had nothing to like wet my brushes for glitters that I was applying to my eyes. No eye primer, nothing. what made me walk out the door without all this stuff? I have no idea. So I did end up getting a travel size pore spray, which is fine. I imagine that will probably not make it very long in my collection. While I was down there, I was in several of my stores, one of which sold luxury, and I mean, I couldn't help myself. I did buy the new palette by Natasha Denona. That is a face palette. It is quite a bit smaller than the other face palettes I have noticed, but I am actually quite enamored by it because this is a perfect palette. Everything in here pops out, so I can switch these shades up. Yeah, I mean, this is perfect. This is perfect for my life because it's a travel palette, and it's no bigger than my cell phone, to be honest. So really excited about this palette. Haven't used it yet. I've just opened it and looked at it and gawked at it, but I haven't used it. I also purchased the trio. Did you hear me when I said that face palettes are on my no-buy list? Me too, I heard it too. But this one, look at how beautiful this is. I love the packaging of this. And these were just so pretty, too pretty to pass up, to be honest. I did swatch them in store. I love them so much. Like, I love them so much. They're so pretty. And her Natasha Denona My Dream Trio gets so much use for me. So I do think it was a smart purchase. But then I also purchased this guy here, which is another blush. And this is the My Mini Dream Glow Blush. This is so much smaller than I thought it was, to be honest, but I am really super excited to try it out, get some use out of it. It is super cute. I just love it so much. This whole My Dream collection has just been amazing since the beginning of it. So if we're counting, that's 2 face palettes that I shouldn't have bought, 1 blush. I bought some Polite Society items, 2 of which are blushes. I know, it's so bad. So these, my boss, who I've realized is actually a horrible person for me to go shopping with, talked me into these. These are cream to powder blushes by Polite Society, and they are just so pretty. Just really beautiful, and I actually kind of really dig this little tiny cute packaging. It looks like a deodorant stick. It's so cute. This one is called Sydney, and it's just kind of a neutral tone. And this one is called Los Angeles, and it is that like hot Barbie bubblegum pink that has been so popular for a long time. I do feel like this one kind of leans a little bit more lilac though. And then the 2 other products that I bought from Polite Society are glossy lip balms that I'm hoping are knockoffs and or similar to the Summer Fridays lip balms that are out there. So because I mean, they look exactly like them. This one is in French caramel. It smells like a candy. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is Jared Blandino's new baby, so you know this stuff smells delicious. So there, I got this one, which is kind of like a mauve-y tone, like a brownie mauve. And then I got this one, which is in the shade Bumbleberry, and it is kind of like a purpley shade, has a little bit of a fruity scent, and looks kind of like gray toned on the lips. Very cool tone, very like popsicle lips. Oh, so pretty. I did end up getting an ABH Brow Freeze gel with the mascara one, Brow Freeze gel. And then I got this blush by KVD because one of my GMs and one of my locations while I was doing my visit was shopping for me, brought this over and was like, you have to touch this, you have to feel this. And I was like, oh my God, that is beautiful. And she's like, you have to buy this. And I'm like, okay. And so she went and got it for me, put it in my hot little hands, and I picked it up. This is the KVD Good Apple blushes that just came out, the cream blushes, and I actually am really excited to use it. She's like, I want a picture of it on your lips and on your cheeks and all the things. And I'm like, okay. And then I also bought an eyeshadow. This is the Lancome Liquid Eye Blusher, a liquid eyeshadow, and it is in the shade Sandstorm. Look at the beautiful sparkles in that. I would not have purchased this if my Lancome advisor that day had not been wearing it on her eyes. It was so pretty and sparkly and beautiful. So, I mean, I had to have it. That's just the way it is. And then as I was purchasing some of these things, I was standing in line and I picked this up and I'm looking at it, and the GM who was checking me out was like, have you tried that? That's like those pH balancing blushes. And I'm like, oh, let's try it. Threw it in. This is the Youthforia pH adjusting color shifting blush oil. I mean, isn't this crazy? It looks like lime jello in there. I'm super interested to try it though. So if you weren't counting, I purchased 14 items. Of those 14 items, 2 were face palettes, and face palettes are on my no-buy list. Either way, that puts me down into the negative. So next month, this month, March, I can't buy anything. And so far, and it's late in March, so far I have not. So next month I go to FLC, so I don't imagine I'll be buying anything in April either, just because of March. So we're going to try and make March a no-buy month, because I know I have 3 more empties in my project pan. And we're going to try and also make April a no-buy month, because I know I have a ton of stuff coming in April. So let's see what we can do. And I'll put the real numbers here in the screen somewhere, because I need to go back and look at my first video to see if I gave myself like a number that these were going to count for if I purchase face palettes, because they are on my no-buy list. But in addition to that, I only am allowed 5 blushes for the year. And this time I purchased 4. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I need to quit forgetting to take makeup with me, because that would curb some of the spending. But like, I don't know. Oh, make that 5 blushes. 5 blushes. I don't know what to say. I am going to try and have March and April be no-buy months. So far in March, we're doing a good job. It is, you know, kind of mid-month. We haven't purchased anything so far that isn't accounted for in this. That's where we're at. How are you guys doing on your spending this year? Like, I feel like I did okay until this month. I don't really know. I can't explain myself. I don't really know what to say. With that said, oh, the Sephora sale is coming, and I want to buy the 2 Danessa Myricks palettes that I've been holding out for. Those might be the only purchases that I make. We will see. We'll see. What do you think of my haul? Please let me know. I really do appreciate you for sticking it out and showing me support. Thank you all so much for being here today. I hope that you and yours are doing well. I hope that you are all safe and healthy and getting along as best you can. I hope that you are all loving each other, but loving each other from afar. And until next time. Bye, friends.